So in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how to become a better salesperson. I've got some really cool stuff to cover in the next couple of minutes. So I want to really jump into it, get started, and knock this out. And you can go out and have a great weekend and hopefully make some money and be as profitable as possible. So buckle up for this one. This is going to be fast and furious, and I'm going to really give you some great information over the next couple of minutes. So for years, I've been hiring coaches and looking for ways to improve, especially in sales. If I look at my history, I'm an operations guy. So going into sales really felt weird at first. But what I've discovered has really changed my entire approach, not just to sales, but to a lot of things. And you're going to see that here in a second. So I'm going to give you my blueprint to how I get instant feedback and close more deals in about 15 minutes. The entire process, when you implement it and when you start doing it, is super fast, and it really does completely change your approach to sales coaching, and providing good feedback to your prospects and closing more deals. So, a quick question. Have you ever felt like you're kind of stuck in your sales process and you make the same mistakes over and over again? You wish you had a coach, you wish you had somebody that could provide you feedback, and walk you through, where you're good, where you're not good, and really give you some objective feedback. That would be amazing, right? But what if I told you the best sales coach that I've ever had works 24/7, never takes a day off, never takes a break, never asks me for more money, and doesn't cost me a fortune? That'd be intriguing, right? You'd want to learn more. Well, stick with me because I'm about to show you how AI has completely changed my process and changed the game for the way I approach things in sales and in my business. So and the best part is this is fast. It only takes like 15 minutes to do after a call, and it pays for itself 10 times over. So let's go ahead and dive into a little bit more detail. So here's the thing. Every sales call that you have, every client conversation holds a gold mine of insight if you know how to pick out those nuggets, if you know how to dive in, examine it, and really truly pull out the information. But if we're honest, most of us just finish a call and we move on to the next one or move on to doing something else because we just don't have time. And we just hope that things go better next time, or maybe that we just kind of, oh, that wasn't a good client, or they weren't really interested anyway. But the reality is we could have done something different. We just don't know what it is. But what if you had a way to get instant feedback? I mean, nearly instantaneous feedback as to how you did and what you could have done to improve that process, to make that call go differently, make that sales appointment go differently, make that consultation that you had with a client on a project that they wanted go better or more smoothly. What if you had a personal sales coach that was analyzing everything that you did, everything you said, everything your client said, and allowed you to move faster, and it only took 15 minutes or less? That's amazing. That's the kind of stuff that is sci-fi. It's like there's no way that could happen. But we're in an area and we're in a state of technology now where it's real and it happens. And I'm going to show you exactly what I do and how I implement this process. And I'm going to give you the scripts. I'm going to give you everything that I do so that you can take it, run with it, and see how it impacts your business. So let's see. This is exactly what I do after every call. It's really, just a couple of steps, but it's been just game changing for me. First, I want to make sure I record every call. If I'm having a phone call, if it's a Zoom, if it's a sales consultation, if it's a one-on-one, I want to get the transcript. I want to record that call in some fashion. If it's a phone call, it's easy to record. If it's a Zoom, it's easier to record. If it's a in-person meeting, you need a device to do it. It could be your Apple Watch, it could be your phone, it could be one of the wearable transcribing devices, and I'll actually show you one here before we wrap up the call. I'll provide the link for it. I'm not getting paid for it. It's just one of the devices I found that I think is helpful in getting transcription and taking notes while you're in front of a client while you're talking, because we miss a lot of things if we're just taking notes. And if we can get the transcript and record everything, we don't miss any of it. And it's super beneficial. So that's the first thing. Record every call, record every consultation, interaction, one-on-one, whatever it is. Then I transcribe it. So I take that video and I run it through a system or a tool that I have that I use. It's called Descript. I use it for all my video editing and stuff, and it's my favorite tool. You don't have to use it. You can use something else. If you're using just a transcription device, you don't need to transcribe it. But if it's a Zoom call, I need to get the transcription. And it's super easy, it's accurate, and it works for me. The number three is I upload the transcript into AI. I use Medusa. She's my bot. Actually, the link to get access to her, she's free, is down in the comments, so you can get access to it and start using that too. But ChatGPT works for this as well. I just like Medusa because I think I've got her trained a little better than just regular ChatGPT. But anyway, so I take those three steps: record the call, transcribe it, get the transcription, feed it into ChatGPT and the AI platform. Now, a note here, there's a couple things. If you're going to record a call, you need to let the person know that you're recording it. So Zoom, it's super easy. They get a notification. But you also don't want to put personal information. You want to put, bank account numbers, credit card numbers, any of that stuff into ChatGPT. I would remove any of that kind of stuff before I fed it in there. But anything that's just based on, the conversation, how things go, fair game. So now that I've done that, I've set up the stage, I've given ChatGPT the information. Now, there are 4 really simple questions that I ask, and I'm going to give you those 4 questions after this so that you have it. But I want AI to review the conversation and give me honest feedback. I want to know what she found when she looks at, our conversation, and tell me, how did I do? What could I have done differently? So these are the questions that I ask. First one, I just want a quick review. I want a synopsis of what happened. So please review this sales call, summarize the key points, including next steps for moving the conversation forward. This is just to give me the bullet points, what we talked about, what their thought process was. Were there any objections? Was there anything that we needed to come to agreement on? Were there next steps that we discussed in that call? And just give me that summary so I know, hey, in general, this is what we talked about and this is what we have. The information you'll get there is super helpful because now I have a very straightforward process and I can use that as a summary to send to the client. Say, here's what we talked about, here's what our next steps are, so that they know exactly where you stand. Super beneficial. Next, I want to get coaching. I want to know, what did I do? How did things go? So next prompt, list 3 things I did well in this sales call and 3 areas where I could improve. Simple question, simple ask. The results are amazing of what you'll get. You'll get really honest, objective feedback saying, these are the things you did well. This is why you did them well. There are 3 areas that you could have done better. And here's why, here's what you did, and here's how you could improve it. That feedback alone will change your approach for your next sales meeting, your next appointment, the next time you're talking to somebody. And there's 100 different uses for this, but for sales alone, this is unreal how objective and helpful this information is. I just did this yesterday, and it told me I meandered too long on certain things. I was going through, I kind of got off topic, and I went into some areas that probably took too long. I needed to circle back faster. And then there was a couple of objections that came up that I could have addressed more clearly to help that person make a decision. So it's incredibly helpful, the feedback that you get. And then there's another one that we ran that was about a referral. We totally missed the opportunity to get a referral. The client had mentioned, hey, I've got somebody that I think would really find this beneficial. Never followed up on it. Totally bad on us. We didn't follow up on it. So that was a missed opportunity that we probably just would not have caught if we hadn't gone through and had Medusa or the AI system review the call. Then I want to know where the customer is or where this prospect's head's at. Where are their objections? What's going on with them? So the next question, and this is where things really get interesting. So I've got the feedback, that's super helpful, and that's helping me. Now, I want to identify the underlying concerns or objections the prospect has that might be holding them back. This is insight into how that prospect feels about the conversation, feels about the offer that you made, feels about just moving forward and next steps and what's really holding them back. These are the underlying things that you probably didn't pick up on during the conversation. This is amazing information. This opens up so that now you have a really good idea as to what's going on in that customer's head. And it can help frame your follow-up with that person, but also how you approach other clients, because it just may be stuff you're not aware of. Things that are internal objections that they have to either working with you. Maybe they express something about trust, or express something about they've been burned in the past, or they weren't quite ready to make a decision because they weren't comfortable with you. And those are the types of things that you'll pull out and not even be aware of, that AI and Medusa can go through and look at and say, these are the things that are really holding them back and why. And also, she'll provide a game plan for how to overcome that objection, things that you could do to help make that customer or that prospect feel more comfortable in moving forward with you. Unbelievable opportunity here to really see kind of under the curtains of, or behind the curtains of, what that customer is really going through and how to attack those concerns that they have. And then the last thing is, in number 4 on this list, is based on the sales call, write a follow-up email and strategy with action steps to help convert this prospect into a customer. So what does that mean? What I'm going to get is, here's my follow-up email, but then here's a sequence of emails, phone calls, text messages to help take that prospect and attack all of their objections that they had and turn them into a customer. And so if they have objections about pricing, I send them some information about that. If they have objections about the quality of the work, maybe send them a testimonial or a review that I've got that addresses that particular concern that they may have, that they may not have expressed clearly. And then it allows me to have a really structured, personalized follow-up program that is designed directly for that person and to help convert that person into a customer. And it may not be tomorrow, it may be a week, it may be 2 weeks, maybe 6 months, but it gives me the ability to have a very personalized follow-up system for that person, their needs, their objections. And you can't do this without having these transcripts and without going through this process. You just never have it. And you throw some generic, follow-up out there. Maybe they reply, maybe they don't. This is much more specific and really does a great job of giving you actionable intel that you can use to convert that lead or that prospect into a customer if they were on the fence. So this is incredible. Those 4 things, you do those 4 things, and you are going to be light years ahead of your competition and light years ahead of where you were yesterday. So I'm going to drop these scripts down below so you're going to have them. I highly suggest that you follow this process. You'll learn a lot about yourself, your customers, and then you'll also learn a lot about how to follow up effectively. There's a couple other things that I'm going to kind of give you as a bonus here. These transcripts help create social media content, because now you have really underlying fears or underlying issues that you didn't realize were a problem that you can address with social media content to help kind of get people on the fence, connect with your clients a little bit better online. You can create emails based on the objections that they had. So it opens up a huge world of opportunity for your marketing. And then one other thing that I really find interesting is that I can take this and say, okay, now that I know what that customer's objections are, give me a 6-month plan to help that person achieve whatever results they're trying to achieve. So for me, if I'm working with a business owner that's, kind of stuck and they don't know how to use AI in their business, they don't know how to move forward, they're kind of stuck in that process, I'll say, all right, based on the objections they have, the concerns that they have, give me a 6-month plan to help them achieve the goals that they stated they wanted to achieve. And it's going to, give me a pretty solid program that I can give to them and say, you know what, even if you don't go with me, here's a plan that you can use to kind of move forward at your own pace and hopefully help you to get to where you want to go. And now it positions you as the expert. And if it's somebody that wants maintenance on their home and they're not ready to go, now you can do a kind of a 6-month education piece where you're educating them on home ownership, or how to take care of their roof and their landscaping, and how to account for drainage, all of the different things that they may have concerns with on their house. You can now educate them and position yourself as the expert. And now you're a no-brainer decision for them to come back to you. There's just a ton of uses for this. You just have to use your imagination, and it's just amazing what you can come up with. So what are the results? The results for this is the feedback is next level. Unbelievable feedback. I get a full report on my sales call, the sales performance, how I did. I get a coaching plan for how I can improve, or if I've got my team doing sales calls, how they can improve. I get a personalized follow-up strategy based on that specific client's fears, goals, and challenges. What is it that's preventing them from getting there? What are the goals that they really want to achieve? And what's kind of tripping them up? And I can create a plan based specifically on them. And it takes literally 15 minutes. Most of the time it takes me less than that. And I walk away with really deep insights into my performance and how I can talk better to my clients, and to help them make decisions faster and help them move along in either, whether they decide to go with me or not, how they can make decisions that are best for them. And I want you to be able to do the same thing for your clients. Help them make a decision. Hey, are you the right fit? Maybe you are, maybe you're not. If you are, you want to be able to address their concerns as quickly as possible so that they can make a decision and move forward. So look, this isn't just about improving your sales calls. It's about understanding your customers. It's about really getting a deep knowledge as to who they are and where they're at. And this just takes it to a completely new level. And I can honestly say that AI has become my secret weapon when it comes to sales and a lot of other components of my business. And it can be yours too. This isn't just a monopoly. It's not just for people like me that are in the weeds in this stuff all the time. This is for you. This is for everybody. And I want you to use the tools that you have as effectively as you can without wasting time. And this is one of those ways that's super effective and takes almost no time. And the ROI on this is through the roof. So what about you? What are you using AI for now? Are you using AI? Are you using it in your business? Are you concerned about, hey, how do I use it? How do I get started? There's a lot of questions out there. There's a lot of different tools. But if you're serious, if you really want to kind of up your level of your skills, your business, everything, drop a comment below, let me know, or just click the link and get access to Medusa, and you at least get started with it and start utilizing it and learn some of the things that you may not know already. But if you are using it, drop a comment. Let me know how you're implementing it, what effect it's had on your business, and kind of the things that you've learned. I'm curious as to how everybody is implementing, because I think it's just an incredible tool that we have access to now that we just didn't have a year or 2 years ago. So that is it for today.